understand it. Hey, it is 12:20 on Monday, January 9th. And today is the day that we're going to write our introductions to our essay for Mod 4 about how tractors and cars have changed over time and how those changes have changed the world. So I'm going to share my screen and show you what I expect. I went in and I checked to see who had submitted their graphic organizers from last week, and only 2 people have. It's due today, so you're not late if you haven't submitted it. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that it was today. Somebody needs to mute. We're hearing a lot of noise. Might be you, Amadi. Thank you. Okay. So today, if you go to our home screen and you go to language arts and you go to writing, which is in Mod 4, informational writing, you'll notice that so far we've already gone through the assignment, reading and taking notes and making sure we've read both stories. Here's a link to that Google Doc that you can use to plan for 402 if you want to use it. And I'll show you why it's super cool to use it online today. And then the plan or structure of this essay we talked about on Friday, and your graphic organizer is due today, planning your essay. Today is lesson 4, introductions. Now remember, this essay is not due until the 20th, and today is the 9th. So you're almost halfway through your essay. The part that you have left is writing the essay and then editing it. So if you've done everything you're supposed to do, it's going to go just fine. Here are the pages in the lessons that are teaching us this stuff. And if you see that in lesson 403, which is for tomorrow, pages 7 and 8 teach us how to write the introduction. So I'm going to go to that now and show it to you. Did I start the recording? I hope. Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm going to go to language arts.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does everything have to be filled out when you submit when you share the thing to you?
Not everything, but you should have most of it filled out. I'd rather you submitted something than nothing, because one of the things that's super important is for me to check your thesis or controlling idea and your 3 topic sentences. For example, I had a student who did a great job. He was one of the 2 students who turned it in early, but he kind of didn't understand exactly what the topics were. And so I've gone back in and corrected that for him. So now he won't waste a whole bunch of time today. He can go back and start doing the correct topics. Because remember, this is asking you how cars and trains or tractors have changed and how that has changed the world. So remember, it said here, I think it was on pages 5 through 7, it's about the introduction. Actually, it looks like page 6, commas, page 7. Here we go. All right. So it says, as we write our rough draft, we're going to do the following. Use, plan from, and refer back to the text. Hopefully you've got those saved somewhere easy to get to. Use your resources. It talks about underlining things. Don't worry about that so much. And then here it talks about an introduction. Let's watch that.
Setting off on a hike is exciting because I never know what's in store for me on the journey. That's why I always look forward to the beginning of an essay. The introduction in an informative or opinion essay is one of the most important parts. Why? Well, the introduction has 3 pieces: the hook, the bridge, and the controlling idea. The hook catches the reader's attention and makes them want to keep reading. The bridge connects the hook to the controlling idea and gives more detail about the topic. Then we have the controlling idea, which shares the main idea or opinion of the paper. The controlling idea responds to the prompt. All parts of the paper lead back to the controlling idea. An introduction with all 3 parts sets the direction for a great piece of writing. Come along and let's hit the trail.
Okay. So here it talks about checking off those things, and now it's your turn. And here it's the writing prompt again. Now, I want to say one thing about a writing prompt. When you are given a topic to write about, it is super important that you read and reread that topic and make sure that's what you're answering. So in this topic, everybody look up here. Christian, can you read this out loud for us? The one that's on my screen right now, the writing prompt. Tracing the Tractor's Legacy, Christian?
The car can
Tracing the Tractor's Legacy and the Car Catalyst.
and the car catalyst
Discuss
discuss two different
modes. That's kind of a funny word.
modes of transportation and how they have changed over time.
So that's
Yeah.
the first part of your essay, your first two paragraphs. One's about how tractors have changed, one's about how cars have changed. That should be your first two body paragraphs. Go ahead, Christian. Using the text.
Using the text, explain how transportation changed the world. Use evidence from the text to support your response.
Okay, and then the third paragraph, remember we said, is about how transportation has changed the world. All right, and then it says read your rough draft. So they really want you to get working on your whole rough draft. If you've planned carefully, let me show you how easy that's going to be. So remember in that lesson, it had a link to this document. Oh, Mila's on here. Oh yeah, because I gave her a link to it, but I don't think she can edit it. She's just looking at it right now. Is Mila even here? She's not. Here, watch this. This will freak her out. We'll just go up here and type. Hi, Mila. We are using this right now in Zoom class. Okay, so it says today, make sure you have read and reread the two articles, Tracing the Tractor's Legacy and the Car Catalyst. Annotate or mark up evidence in the articles for three things. One, oh, brother, why does it do that where it suddenly signs me out? Isn't that lovely? Okay, so one thing you marked up was how tractors have changed over time. The second thing you marked up was how cars have changed over time. And finally, you marked up how both have changed the world, right? You should have already done those two. Give yourself a pat on the back if you've done that. If you've read the stories and you've marked them up. Awesome.
Sorry.
Then you plan your essay. If you haven't done it, you're kind of behind and you need to get a move on. Plan your essay using the graphic organizer below or the one in the book and submit for 4.02. This is due today. So this is actually due today. I'd like to see it today. If you haven't done those other things, make sure you get on it. Then today we are writing our introduction. If you're done with all of that, don't just stop, keep working ahead. So here's a link to that, to this doc. Let me see here if I can give it to you in the chat. If you don't have this document yet and you want it, make sure that after you open it, you give it your name. You have to make a copy of it and give it your name so that I know who it is. And then the first thing I would love everyone to do today is if you have this document already, this one that talks about the prompt and has all this space on it, I would like you to go to the share button right now, open up your Google Doc, and it should be your name, Mod 4 informational essay. And I want you to share it with me. Okay, do that right now if you could please, everybody. So that when I go search for your name, I should see this essay pop up. It should say Amadi's Mod 4 informational essay, Sophia's Mod 4 informational essay. If you did your work, like Christian, I know you did your work on the Google, on the graphic organizer from the book. You can just go make a new Google Doc. You don't have to use this one. Either way, you should either be sharing this one with me or a new Google Doc. Please do that now. I'm going to give you one more minute to do that. Open up a Google Doc, title it your name, Mod 4 informational essay, and then share it with me.
And then do we like submit something so you know?
Yeah,
Where?
I'll show you in a minute. Actually, while people are doing this, I'll show you. So if you go to 4.02, which is the one before this one. So here, oops, that's 4.01. Oh, I got to get to the start.
I already shared it.
I've only got 2 people who shared it. Oh, you might have shared it, but you didn't tell me you shared it. So here's 4.2, the Car Catalyst. You need to go to the last page of this, page 9, and go to the assignment. And we'll say text structured trains 4.02. Oh, no, that's 4.03. Sorry, wrong one. Back, previous. Okay, what's this say? 4.03, let's go back some more. This should be 4.02, the car catalyst. This should be it. Submit the assignment following the lessons. Either here you can, if I do it on a student view, it might actually let me. Yeah, here we go. So here it lets you submit it however you want. So if you've already shared it with me, all you have to do is go to the text and say, I shared it with you, Ms. Laws. So I'm awesome. And then when you submit it, you get the little celebration, I think. Submit assignment. Woo! I just love that. Don't you love that part?
Hey! But it has those things that what do you guys?
Confetti.
No, what are those little petals? Flower
I
petals.
don't know what those are. Okay. That's not it. Here it is. Okay. So the other day I talked with you about the prompt. Here's the prompt. Tracing the tractor's legacy and the car catalyst, discuss two different modes of transportation and how they have changed over time. Using the text, explain how transportation changed the world. Use evidence from the text to support your response. And here's why I said it was cool to use this Google Doc, because today I'm being asked to write my introduction. Now I already wrote my hook sentence, so all I have to do is take away the words that say hook sentence. And now I've written it. And then I'm supposed to have my bridge and my controlling idea or thesis. I already wrote my controlling. So my hook is, did you know that 100 years ago to grow food, a farmer had to walk behind a cow and pull a plow by hand? Then I go to my controlling idea, and I'm just going to get rid of that and back it up till it's right next to that, like a paragraph. Life today is much easier due to improvements in transportation. That's my controlling idea. And finally, I need a bridge. I need a sentence that I can use to go from this introduction into the body. And I would like almost all of you to use this bridge. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. I want you to copy it and paste it into your essay.
Is that why there is no bridge in our copy? Because I don't have a bridge in my copy.
Well, I know you have to write your copy. Oh, you mean it doesn't say bridge?
Yeah, it doesn't say bridge at all.
Either way, I just put it into the chat. So please copy and paste this bridge sentence.
It says this is already used. Please use another one.
What, the copy you mean?
Yes.
Well, make another copy. Go to the top and it says make a copy.
Oh no! Oh wait! No, wait! I can't lose this.
Okay. So guys, please copy and paste this bridge sentence into your essay, because you need to let them know that this essay is all about these two articles. So this is where we're giving credit to the articles and telling them, you know, what we're writing about. So this part doesn't have to be a separate sentence. This is all a paragraph. Do you see how I just changed all that planning into a paragraph?
Yeah.
I am done with my introduction. It is done.
Wait! Just like you helped me with the. Remember when we were doing the other one before this? You helped me turn the
So this is all you put in your introduction is a hook, not necessarily my hook.
A bridge.
And you put in your hook, then you put in your controlling idea or your thesis. You can call it whatever you want, but it's your controlling idea or your thesis, right? Right there. Life today is so much easier. And finally, you put in a bridge that takes us into the essay. The two articles, Tracing the Tractor's Legacy and the Car Catalyst, teach us many ways tractors and cars have changed over time and how those have changed the world. So that's my introduction. I'm not going to have it be in italics. I'm going to, I don't want it bold either, but I don't want it in italics. Make it not italics. There we go. But I do want these two parts in italics to show that they're the titles of things. So this is all you have to do for today. But once you have that done, it's important to go back and plan these. I'm going to show you how they're going to write themselves. So my first body paragraph, remember my first topic and probably your first topic, is that tractors have changed over time. Something about tractors changing. Then I pulled out my evidence. Tractors were first pulled by cows, then had riding seats. Eventually, they made engines that enabled tractors to move on their own without livestock. At first, the engines were huge and heavy and dangerous because they blew up a lot, but over time, the engines have improved. These are all paraphrasing. It's where I took the information from the text, but I put it in my own words. If I paraphrase, I don't have to say where the information came from, right? But on this one, I decided to use an actual quote. So with the change in production to assembly lines, they were able to make tractors cheaper so more people could afford them. In the article, Tracing the Tractor's Legacy, the author says, and I used his exact words, so I had to put them in quotation marks. And finally, the last thing that I had in this paragraph is that when lots of people got tractors, they were able to farm more land. But you know what I decided about that sentence? I don't think it fits in this paragraph. So I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to go down to the paragraph that is about how tractors changed the world, and I'm going to put it there. So this, my second body paragraph, is about another way life got way easier was due to the advances in cars, right? Because this paragraph is going to be all about how cars changed over time. So that's my next topic sentence. And my final topic sentence is going to be about what? Who can tell me? Anybody know?
How cars and tractors changed the world.
Finally, all of the changes with cars and tractors have completely changed the way we live our lives. And I really believe that because I lived in Africa.
Wait, could we use that sentence?
Well, I would like you to come up with your own way of saying it. And besides, you need to decide what your thesis is. Maybe your thesis is that cars and trucks have made, or tractors have made life better. Maybe it's that it's made life easier. Maybe it's just that it has changed the world a lot, because I think like Christian's thesis is that cars and tractors have really changed the world. That's his whole thesis. So pretty cool. Anyway, that's all you have to do today, remember, is to go back, read and reread the 2 articles, mark them up. If you haven't done those, you need to do that now, like yesterday. Then you need to send me your plan, and your plan should have all of those things that we just talked about: a hook, I'll put this back in here, hook, a bridge, and a controlling idea, right? And then you can change it into a paragraph and just leave it like that. And then you need to have your topic sentences and some evidence from the story on all 3 body paragraphs. Now, the neat thing is when I go to write this body paragraph, look at all I'm going to have to do is take away the red parts and take away the numbers, and this thing is going to write itself. That's a cool thing about planning well. If you plan well, the essay kind of writes itself. Okay, so I have a little bit more work to do on my graphic organizer, which is okay. So back to your question, Eli, I'd like you to submit what you have. Any questions about what we're doing today? I know it seems like a lot, but really, if you're organized, it's not that much. If you have any questions, let me know. You may leave and work on your own, or you may stay in a breakout room and work there. It's totally up to you. If anybody wants to go to a breakout room, I will open them up and you can just choose them.
I have a question, Miss
Yeah.
Ross.
Yes.
Aren't you supposed to just put evidence in those 1, 2, 3 slots, or did you put
Yep.
more than evidence?
No evidence. That's what you're putting in. So you don't have to have it in full sentences, but the advantage to having it in full sentences is then you can turn it straight into an essay. So instead of writing, like that whole sentence about how the cows pulled it, I could just have put the word cows. Like at first tractors were pulled by cows. They were just plows pulled by cows.
Could you help me with like getting information from the text? Because I did read the tractor one, but I didn't read the car one.
Oh, well, let's go read the car one right now, shall we?